It's just a back and forth game so far between these two players. And oh, where did these two come from? I guess the larva over there didn't die yet, but these two Ultralists are going to die because on their way out there is this big army here. There's a bunch of Zerglings trying to sneak in, trying to do some damage, but there's a lot of Drewbie's forces here, lots of those, and IdrA again venting out his frustration. Such fucking bullshit, as he is not happy. And Drewbie, like I said before, getting under his skin. I love Terran. Well, why wouldn't you love Terran if you are doing this well with them? And here we have IdrA trying to take out this expansion. Is he going to be successful? Time will tell. The SCV is repairing the planetary fortress, and IdrA is forced to back away at that sexy animation of Ultralisk dying a fiery death. If I were Hydra, though, honestly, man, at this point, well, if I were on Hydra, of course, I wouldn't be sexy like I am right now. But if I were Hydra, I would start producing Brood Lords, man, because, you know, so far it is a close game, but the Brood Lords could make that difference. Here we have Hydra trying to get in, trying to do a lot more damage. Again, he's faced with a similar situation. Lots of Marines, planetary fortress being repaired by SCVs, so Hydra is back to force away again. I think he's probably going to say something now. I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, if you are a Zerg player, you could see that this build that IdrA has against that Terran build, mechanized build, including Marines as well, is not a particularly effective build. I mean, he is winning, you know, by a small margin, but it's only because, well, how should I say this? He's winning because he has a bigger economy, you know. He has more bases, more workers, more everything. He's able to pump out more units, but 1-to-1 ratio, if you want to look at it that way, IdrA is losing, you know. He is losing more units. Let's see, units lost. See, there you go. You know, I wasn't just talking out of my arse. I do know some things. Look at that. Oh, almost, well, over twice the units lost, and a considerable amount of minerals and resources lost as well. Like I just said, IdrA would have lost this game long ago if he wasn't pwning Drewbie in a macro sense. But hey, that's what IdrA is known for, and that's why everybody likes IdrA, because he is a player that he does his whining, he does his complaining, but at the same time he's an exceptionally good player, and he will fight to the bitter end, as I do believe that he is a bitter man. So with that being said, he did break down through the first set of destructible rocks. He is breaking through the second set. He does see this command center being complete, and now we have a massive battle. Tons of Ultras and Zerglings, but there is too many units from Drewbie, and they are in a very sexy position as this command center actually helped him a lot. It blocked the pathing, so the Zerg units couldn't surround the Terran army, and again, poor IdrA is forced to withdraw. And look at Drewbie. Oh, come on, I wanted to use my 250mm Star cannons. I inserted this strike. And IdrA, very angry, he says, go, you know what, yourself. So here we have IdrA trying to get back. Fungal growth, immobilizing the units, making them vulnerable to the cleave attack of the Ultralists. But there's just too many right now, and they are in a favorable position. And I assume that the 250mm cannons did get used. That's why Drewbie is saying pew pew, pew pew, laser show. I don't know at this point if it's a good idea for IdrA, man, to keep producing the same units that he has been, because like I said before, he has lost a ton more units, and he's only still in this game because of the way Zerg is played. The Zerg economy basically allows you to overcome these sort of obstacles. And now here we have IdrA again with a similar composition of army, Zerglings, Ultralists, and Infestors going in, throwing the fungal growth, trying to do a lot of damage. I do believe that at this point he did catch this Terran army in a favorable position for him because of the fungal growth, and he did cut through them like a hot knife through butter. And as you saw over there, these Ultralisks with a very Ultralisk is like a Zergling on crack, man, basically. It's like, you know, you can't stop them. Once they get in a certain position, man, they're very tough to take out. And here, again, we have a similar scenario for poor IdrA. His forces are being kicked back, courtesy of Drewbie, And what is he doing? He's putting up another hatchery. I do believe it would be over there, but yeah. So far, more Drewbie is actually getting the Terran building upgrade because he does realize that, you know, if as long as he sends his units where IdrA is attacking, it won't be IdrA won't be able to do damage. And here we have some more trash talk. I guess I do not really need to attack. Do you actually feel any satisfaction playing this? And like I said before, Drewbie knows he's under IdrA's skin, and he says it is kind of funny. But I do have to agree with IdrA. Well, I don't know if I do agree with IdrA. I mean, he is not building the proper unit balance, but even Drewbie goes as far as acknowledging the fact that it is not balanced. A lot of people do think that Terran are the complete race, while Zerg and Protoss still need tweaking in StarCraft 2, and IdrA couldn't agree more. So yeah, here we have the scan going down. This is basically a useless area because, well, it still has some gas, but as far as minerals go, it is useless. Now IdrA trying to make an ultimate attack on this place, and as you can see, he is going to be able to completely annihilate this planetary fortress because there is no land units to support it. And here we have the ground army of Drewbie trying to interfere, trying to intercept this very large and sexy and dangerously looking. They all look like they're covered with blood. Look at those blades, man. They're shiny. I would not want one of those blades inside my body if I were a Terran player. And yeah, here we see the Greater Spire finally going up. IdrA is where is that thing? I remember seeing it here. There we go. It is about 8 seconds away from being built, and what that means is, my friends, Broodlords are going to be introduced into this game. And Broodlords, he should have, if he did this about 30 minutes ago, this game would have been finished long time ago. But I guess now it's time for IdrA to return the favor to Drewbie as introducing the imbalanced, or I don't know, imba, I guess if you want to call it, Broodlords. I mean, any Zerg player, man, they should always use Broodlords because Broodlords are such a good unit. And they could destroy like a whole base, man, so fast. It's unbelievable how fast they could destroy it. So, and keep in mind that because of the melee upgrades, the Broodlings do get those upgrades as well. So they are going to be 3 out of 3 as far as upgrades are concerned. So I swear I just saw something blue here, but I just looked and there was nothing there. Anyways, here we have a massive 200 out of 200 almost army going out, and at this point, man, it does look like that Drewbie will be unable to deal with this particular force and this particular side because of the Broodlords. And look, as soon as the Broodlords go down, they start going to work. They start doing a lot of damage. They make the tanks do their friendly fire. And yeah, that's never a good thing because the friendly fire from the siege tanks actually does a lot of damage to the Terran army. So here we have the Zerglings and the Ultralisks trying to go around, forming the perfect surround, and the fungal growth going down. The Marines are unable to move. The Ultralisks getting close, starting to cut in, starting to melt away the Marines and the Marauders and the Thors. And I do believe that this command centers, there's 3 command centers in this area. They are all going to go down as IdrA has claimed his expansion over there, and now he's saying, that's right, baby, that's right, that place is mine. Get away, Drewbie, you troll. And what can I say? At this point, man, I am a fan of IdrA. Go IdrA. But yeah, he is trying hard, and what did I say, man? The Broodlords are the turning point. The Broodlords are known as a game-changing unit, and IdrA is showing us why they are, because they're just non-stop chaos. You can't really stop them unless you have a large amount of air force, of course, and then you could, obviously that's a counter, right? You can stop it. So here we have more fungal growth going down, the Zerglings and the Ultralisks doing a ton of damage, this planetary fortress being repaired, trying to hold its own, trying to help out in any way you can. But I do believe that there is too many Zerglings, too many Ultralisks, and even these Broodlords, they are still firing in this area. He should just make a couple of these Ultralisks free to kill these SCVs, and pop goes the planetary fortress. And now at this point, I do believe that IdrA knows that he has the JJ. So that's my reaction exactly as what Drewbie just said. But he says, I want you to take a moment and reflect on how much of a failure you are, and to play like this and still lose. And now Drewbie is he's talking about imbalance of the Zerg. I do believe at this point, man, that it is over, and I am waiting for the JJ, because IdrA was finally able to put together. Did you guys see how many broodlords were there? Like 5 or 4? I think it was 5. But those 5 units changed the game. They basically granted IdrA the ability to win, because the broodlings, they do take the focus fire away from the Zerglings and the Ultralisks and whatnot. It's just too much micro. It's an unamountaable amount of micro that no player can achieve. Therefore, broodlords are always game changers, and we have just the last attacks going down. The broodlords, the Ultralisks just cutting through those marines like butter. And as you read on the chat, they are just talking to each other. And there is the GG. This game was a very long game, and yeah, I do hope that you guys enjoyed it, because this is my very first long game that I did, and I do hope that I got that level 1 commentating upgrade. I will be checking for comments about that, and yeah, if you have a good thing to say, please do. If you have a bad thing to say, please don't. As you know, I am starting out, and yeah, you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is NS signing out.